All right, let's unlock some seriously classified intel. Today, we're going to dive into some mind-hacking techniques used by intelligence agencies to just accelerate learning, turning what should be weeks of study into a matter of days.
So, forget everything you thought you knew about boring study routines. I mean, what if you could absorb new skills, new languages, or really complex subjects without that endless grind of textbooks and flashcards? It sounds like something out of a movie, right? But for intelligence agents, this is just another day at the office. And that right there, that's the core promise. These aren't just, clever little tips. These are field-tested methods for mastering information at an absolutely incredible speed. And the best part? You don't need a secret handler or a black budget to use them. Okay, first things first. We've got to upgrade your brain's operating system. Think of these first two hacks as a massive software update designed to completely rewire how your mind processes and stores information. And it all starts the moment you fall asleep. So first up, we've got something called hypno-learning. And yeah, it sounds intense, because it kind of is. Soviet intelligence reportedly used this to help their agents learn entire languages in record time. The whole key is this theta brainwave state. You know that hazy, dreamlike zone right between being awake and asleep? That's when your subconscious is wide open, just ready to soak up information without any argument. So this breaks it down into something you can literally do tonight. While spies were getting their brains synced up in a lab, you just need a YouTube and a pair of headphones. They were downloading classified intel. You can just review some key formulas or vocab. The principle is exactly the same. You let your brain do all the heavy lifting while you're asleep. So here's your mission. Just find a theta waves or 4 hertz track online. As it's playing, casually glance over whatever it is you need to learn. And here's a pro tip. Add a physical trigger. Snap your fingers. What this does is it creates a neural association so that later, when you really need to focus, that same snap can act like a mental switch to pull you right back into the zone. Next up is something called neuropriming. And this one's a little counterintuitive. I mean, we're always told we need perfect silence to learn. But spies, they don't get that luxury. They have to learn how to thrive in chaos. And this technique actually trains your brain to use distractions as a tool for building an even stronger focus.
So picture this. An agent in training might be learning in a simulated war zone, complete with sirens and gunfire. Your war zone could just be a noisy coffee shop or your roommate's loud music. The goal isn't to get rid of the noise, but to train your brain to filter it out so well that it just stops being a distraction at all. And here's how you do it. Start small. Just put on some background cafe noise while you work and set a timer for about 7 minutes. When it goes off, consciously bring your attention back. Every few days, just slowly crank up the volume and the complexity of that background noise. You are essentially building a mental muscle for concentration.
Okay, so your brain is now primed for focus. It's time to install some memory superpowers. This next set of techniques is all about creating powerful, instant recall, right when you need it. Have you ever smelled something like fresh cut grass or a specific perfume, and bam, you are instantly transported back to a childhood memory? Well, that's your brain's crazy powerful connection between scent and memory. Intelligence agencies, they weaponize this. They turn it from some random thing that happens into a deliberate, powerful tool. Here's how you do it. Let's say you're studying Spanish. Every single time you study, you choose cinnamon gum. Then, right before a test, you just smell some cinnamon. Your brain gets instantly triggered back into that study mode. And you can expand this to everything. Maybe you always wear a specific red shirt when you're studying history. That becomes your history shirt. You're building this incredible web of sensory triggers. Now, this next hack, this might be the most powerful one of all, because it turns your everyday environment into a cheat sheet for your brain, and it takes almost zero extra effort. This is the memory palace technique. See, your brain is fantastic at spatial memory, so we're going to use that. You assign key pieces of information to physical spots in your home. Put a sticky note with your top 3 tasks on the bathroom mirror. Tape a complex formula to the fridge. Now, every single time you walk past these spots, your brain gets a little microdose of reinforcement, embedding that information deeper and deeper into your memory. Okay, for our final piece of intel, we're focusing on pure efficiency. How do you download information in these short, effective bursts to absolutely maximize retention? Well, the answer is something called active interleaving. I know it sounds like a complex piece of jargon, but the concept is unbelievably simple. It's all about forcing your brain to be agile by making it rapidly switch contexts. So here's the drill. You set a timer for just 10 minutes, and you go deep on one topic. When that timer goes off, you don't take a break, you immediately switch to a completely different subject for another 10 minutes. By forcing your brain to constantly load and unload different topics, you're actually strengthening the neural pathways for both of them, and you create these new, unexpected connections. It's a true 2-for-1 memory upgrade.
So, you've got the intel, you've got the techniques. Now, let's assemble your personal mission plan.
Think of this as your training schedule. Each week, you just stack a new skill on top of the last one. You start with sleep learning in week 1. Then in week 2, you add neuropriming to your study sessions. Week 3, that's for building your memory triggers and your memory palace. And by week 4, you're bringing in the 10-minute mental downloads. This gradual approach makes it all manageable and builds a really powerful integrated learning system.
And with that, your training is complete. You now have the full toolkit to hack your focus, to supercharge your memory, and to learn more efficiently than you ever thought possible.
Just one final piece of advice. Once you unlock this kind of next-level learning speed, maybe keep it to yourself. You're operating with some pretty serious mental hardware now.
So, you have the tools now to learn anything faster and more effectively than ever before. The only real question left is, what's your mission?